Hey guys, it's Gribbs here with Red Fang, and I just want to talk to you real quick about something that I stumbled upon relatively recently that I think is going to be a real game changer for those of us that carry blades for defensive purposes. I'm up here in beautiful Idlewild, California with Mountain Mike in the shop. He's been very gracious and taking some time out of his day to spend it with us and talk about something he developed several decades back and has been copied kind of not very well, but yeah, by a few different folks out there, but no one is doing it properly except for Mountain Mike, because he's the guy that perfected it. And he does this full time. He's been working with leather good products as a custom leather craftsman for decades and decades. He's been doing it for over 20 years full time out of his shop here, and before that he was doing it nights and weekends to help provide for his family. So he's a master at what he does, and he can do just about anything. We're going to talk about the sheath concept that he developed here in a second, but just so you understand the level of craftsmanship and how well-rounded he is, he makes custom hats, he does moccasins, he's got vests, all sorts of knife sheaths, holsters. He does strops for those guys that use a straight edge razor for shaving. He's got a whole bunch of other cool things that he makes himself, and he sells off his website. That's going to be in the description below, and I'll mention it again. But just so you know, it's mountainmikecustomleather.com is where you can go to see all of his stuff. He ships all over the country, and he, like I said, he's been in business. He's booked with work, but that's just a testimony to how good his stuff is. So getting back to why we're here today is a lot of us are carrying blades, and I've been carrying a knife since the early 90s, and I've been there, even though I'm not even 50 yet, I've been there through a pretty substantial development in fixed blade stuff, just around for a long time. And I remember when thumb studs first came out on fixed blades and how big of a deal that was and how much of a game changer that was. And I remember when the pocket clips started getting added onto them. And when that happened, all of a sudden, a lot of men started carrying knives who never even carried them before. They weren't convenient. Spyderco and Emerson were game changers. And Emerson coming out with that wave feature that helps assist opening your blade, that's another leap forward. However, it's still not, it really can even compare to what we're going to show you here in a second. And the problem with a folding knife is that it's basically broken and borderline useless to you until you have it out and open. And if you're a good guy who's just going about your business and all of a sudden you're attacked and you have to use a weapon like that to defend yourself from getting killed or grievously injured, you're already behind the curve. And so what Mike has developed is a sheath system for folding knives. And so what I'm going to recommend to you is that you hang on to whatever knife you're already carrying, use it the same way that you're already using it, but go ahead and invest in this system. It's a two-part system that will enable you to train and be able to defend yourself so much better than you could with a standard folding knife, okay? So I'm just going to show you real quick what the system is that I'm using. And the reason why I am promoting this and am using this is because if I had my druthers, I'd carry a fixed blade everywhere all the time, right? But we know that for social situations and things like that, I'm not going to be walking around with a dagger hanging off my belt. And even with the great little clinch picks and things like that, in some places, if you were concealing that underneath your shirt, you're in violation of the law and you're looking at a felony, okay? And so I would never violate a single law. You would never violate a law, right? Absolutely not. I mean, what would our mother say, right? But we want to be in compliance. We don't want you or anyone else getting in trouble. So this is a way that you can carry a folding blade and concealed and have it out almost as fast as a fixed blade knife. So without further ado, just kind of pull this up. Okay, so I drew that slowly so you can see it done. Mike's going to demo it faster here in a little bit, and he's got a substantial video on his own website there that links right to YouTube, where you can see it done from different hands and all that kind of stuff. He talks in more detail about the sheath system. But just so you know, you're going to want to order it for whichever hand you draw from. So if you're going to be planning on drawing this with your right hand, order the right-handed sheath, okay? Now think this through. If you're also carrying a concealed pistol, you might want to be using this with your offhand so that your other hand's basically dedicated to your handgun or whatever. So just think it through. If you have questions, email Mike. He'll get back to you. He's a pro, okay? Let's go ahead and turn it over to Mike, and he'll show stuff in a little bit closer.
Okay, so these sheaths are made in 3 different colors: light brown, dark brown, black. I use solid brass hardware on all my brown ones and nickel on the black. They can be changed if you so choose. That's a custom order. These, as you notice, are right and left-handed. This one would be on the right-hand side, such as this one. This is the left-hand side, and this would be, like for myself, I've designed these originally as a cross draw. You put back, break the lock, back stroke, back down through, straight back. When you want to pull in a combat pull, just like Andrew showed you recently, you just basically grab a hold of it, pull it up, give a little jump, and your thumb behind the bolster for the stab down ice pick shot. Now, putting it back right-handed is just a matter of breaking the lock with your thumb, push in, and these are made only for the Buck 110. They can have the finger grips or not, either way, it's your choice. Out, up, on. Back, unlock, backstroke, up, in. Very simple. Out, back, in. Cross draw, left-handed, back, in. So you want to break the lock, push up, push straight down, push straight back. You want to do right-handed, up, over, back. That's how you do it. It's very simple. Quick and easy. There's only 3 rivets, 1 Chicago screw. We have fender washers to keep the tip from digging into your leather. I use hard black rubber on the center. It's not a swivel, it's not a roller, it doesn't sharpen your knife. It will not dull your blade, but it does wear out over time. If you pull it, say like I do, 20 to 30 times per day, every day, you'll wear through one of these in about 6 months. So it's got a good life. To undo this, because they are locked down with Loctite, you need to put a good pair of pliers in here. Unscrew this, everything comes apart. You ask for a new rubber thing. I can send them to you in the mail for replacement. You drop it back down in place, put everything back together, new Loctite, screw it back down, you're back in business. So these wear very well. You have the conditioner, which is necessary to keep them emoliated. You don't want to soften this type of holster or sheath or belts or anything with oils. You always use a beeswax based product, and you don't end up with a sloppy, flexible sheath, because then it's not holding its shape doing its job. This is the reason we use wax based. Okay? That's about it for the manufacture of the piece and the leathers that I use. I am using all cowhide, the best tannery in the US, the best leather, double shoulders only. I use Spirit dyes. This is not water-based California dyes. I have to go out of state to get this stuff. It's the best in the business. They've outlawed it in the state of California, and I still use it. You get the best product here. Thank you very much.
All right, so this is only possible with the Buck 110. The amount of labor and expertise that's needed to make these, it just doesn't make sense for him to make them for all sorts of different blades. So he's got a tremendous amount. He's got dyes and all sorts of other things that he uses to make these, and it's just for the Buck 110. I recommend you getting the one that has the finger grooves on it, and you can get these knives directly from Mike, which is what I recommend. He will drill and put this lace through there.
Deerskin.
It's deerskin?
Deerskin lace.
Deerskin lace.
Very strong.
Great stuff. Later on, if for some reason this wears out, you can replace it with 550 or whatever you want to do. He sells knives at the same price you're going to get it anywhere else. You might as well get it from him. There is a bit of a charge because he does drill this, and he drills it right. So if you order these sheaths from him, you ask, he'll include the instructions on how to drill the blade if you want to do it yourself. However, I'd rather just pay, what is it, $8?
That's return shipping and $20 for the job.
So it's $20 for the job, $8 for shipping, and you're not going to have to worry about having a busted knife that you're angry with yourself for. Okay, so just have a professional do it. You know, I don't do dental work on myself. I don't do leather work either. So, so that's great. You can also get this with black hardware if you want to be a bit more subdued. Just let them know that's what you want. Also, measure your belt, the width of your belt. Make sure that it's the correct width for the sheath. Just let him know what you're running and stuff so that he can make them to order.
These are standard 1.5-inch belts.
So standard is 1.5 inch, and then you can make them a little bit bigger.
Military belts are generally 1 3/4, and I can do that without any problems in the sheath construction and/or integrity.
Okay.
It's a simple addition. I do have to do it before I assemble the piece, so it's like a custom order.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely order one of those in a minute. So, hey, that's it, guys. If you have questions, just say something in the comment section. But I think it's going to be a real game changer. So a heck of a lot faster than anything else that's out there.